Hey, happy Halloween and welcome to the October 29th edition of the Tuesday Dashboard Blog. Okay, today we're going to be talking a little bit about social media strategy, something that we all kind of struggle with as Bahá'í communities. So what we're going to get into first is what is social media used for and what is it not used for. So the way that you define success normally in social media for most companies, sort of at a cursory glance, companies who haven't really dug into really the challenges of social media, those people normally define success as measuring likes or retweets on Facebook and Twitter, or measuring sort of their engagement numbers, how many people are commenting on posts or retweeting things, that they're having a discussion with on Twitter. And those things are important, obviously. You can't have social media success without those things, but that's not really what success is. And what success is it's building a bigger online audience, whether it's active or passive, and influencing them to take the action you want them to. Alright, so with that in mind, we're going to look today at something called the social media marketing circle. It's something well known to people in the small business and even the larger marketing industry. It's a tool we use when we're talking with companies about really kind of how they should look at social media when they're trying to implement that. Okay, so first, if I can get out of the way well enough here. Okay, so first, we have awareness. So that's the first thing we want to do is build awareness. The idea is that social media is inherently bigger than local. So when you're trying to build awareness of something, even though you're a local Bahá'í community, your impact may not just be local. It may get bigger than that. And one thing that we've done in my Bahá'í community in Charlottesville is we've created memes that had spiritual themes on them, and we kind of like branded them in the back, in the bottom corner or something with Bahá'í Charlottesville. And we had quotes from Abdul Baha, from Baha'u'llah, and sort of even I think the House of Justice at one point. And some of those we had the author shown on it, and some that we did not. And they actually got circulated pretty widely, so it's not completely unusual for me to be scanning around Pinterest or Facebook and run into the memes that we've made as a community. So it worked out really well, but it really goes to illustrate that it's bigger than just your local community, although your local community is your target audience. And the other thing is that numbers are more important than location for the same reason. So if you can have 500 people in your hometown looking at your Bahá'í memes or the content you're creating for Facebook or Twitter, which is really good by the way, but if you could have that, or you could have 100,000 around the world, I think you should take the 100,000. It's going to be a better choice. It's going to be a better bet in the long run. Because if you can create that viral sort of marketing thing, it's eventually going to get back to your hometown and make more of an impact. So just remember, social media is very important, and building awareness is the first thing on the social media circle of strategy, if you will, but it's bigger than just your local community. Okay, so next we had building engagement, and this is really sort of the big one. This is the hard one. So you need to create compelling content, whether it's a blog post about what's going on in your Bahá'í community, whether it's something you've created like a meme, like something visual, an image or something that's spiritual in nature that is going to uplift and inspire people. You can even take images or articles from elsewhere on the internet and post them on your Facebook account or Twitter account if it's going to be uplifting and inspiring to people in your community. Okay, so the key to really creating the most compelling content is to know your audience well. Because if you know what someone's like, you can create the thing that they want the most. Now, I'll give you an analogy. So, when you're going fishing, and you're getting out your rod and your reel, and you're looking through your bait to catch the fish with, sometimes bait works on certain days in certain creeks or rivers or lakes, sometimes it doesn't. So the key is to finding the bait that the fish wants, not what you want to give the fish. So if the fish respond to crickets or grasshoppers, you should go for that. If they respond to worms, go for that. If you're going for artificial bait, go for that. So, but give them what they want, not what you want them to have. And that's very important, because as the people creating that content, we naturally want to give the people that are viewing the Facebook account or the Twitter account what we like, which is okay from time to time, but make sure that that's really in tune with what they want. And that may be honestly one of the hardest challenges of creating content for social media. Okay, so you're creating the compelling content, you know your audience, now you have to be consistent. Now we talked a little bit about this last week, but consistency really is the key, because consistency builds relationships. When people know that they can come there every Tuesday, in the case of this blog, or every certain time every week or every other week, and they know that there's going to be new content waiting there for them, that really builds a sense of trust with people that are looking at your content on Facebook or Twitter. And so don't mess it up. Keep on being consistent. Because consistency builds trust, inconsistency rips it apart. So remember that, it's very important. In the same way, trust, when you finally get that trust from consistency, it builds loyalty. And loyalty is what you need for people to feel comfortable taking action with what you want them to do. Now, maybe what you want them to do in this case, if you're a Bahá'í community, is get people coming to your core activities. Maybe it's people writing a letter to a congressman or representative on behalf of Baha'is in Iran. Whatever the case is, you need that loyalty in order to have action. And for that loyalty, you need consistency. Okay, so we're getting around the wheel here to action. So when you finally get them where you want you want to get them to commit to taking action. And one of the ways that you do that is by, like, when you're selling, that sounds terrible, but when you're trying to convince people to do anything, what's going to be important to them is what do they get out of it. And so you need to make that clear, whether it's just a sense of well-being that they did the right thing, whether if you're trying to sort of advertise for events or you're trying to engage your community for core activities in your community, you need to let them know what they're going to get out of it if they come, whether it's going to be an uplifting spiritual experience, you need to say that, or you need to tell them in a way from an image or a video file, give them some idea of what they're going to expect and what they can receive out of anything that you do online. Okay, so last we have, sort of all the way around the circle here, we have evangelizing. And this is really the key part of making this a sustainable circle. So when you create this content and you engage the people on your Facebook site or Twitter page, they become your fans. And what fans do is fans get excited about your content. And they naturally want to raise awareness of your content around their Facebook page, or whether they're going to retweet something on Twitter. They become advocates for your campaign. They're basically doing your job for you at some point. So they take this whole cycle all the way back around and have a new sustainable cycle, which is really what the idea is of a lot of things in systematic growth in the faith. When we talk about study circles, the institute process, the idea really is that you have people training and tutoring the study circle. People go through it. They go through the entire sequence of courses, and then when they're done, they become tutors, and they invite people to come through all the courses again, and it kind of reproduces itself. It's kind of viral marketing, by a different name. And that's what viral marketing is when it comes to social media. Okay, so this sort of social media strategy of the circle, it's only sustainable if you raise awareness, you promote your engagement by creating compelling content that people really want to engage with, and then getting them to take action, and then having them like your content so much that they want to tell other people about it and start that circle all over again when they raise awareness. Okay, so those are the things to keep in mind when you're creating and crafting your really, really effective social media strategy. All right, thank you guys, that's all. And just want you to have a really, really great rest of the week. All right, take care. All right, so you might be wondering why I'm wearing this Falcons cap today. The reason I'm doing that is to illustrate a point about social media marketing. Now, so the Falcons haven't done well lately, really. And I'm not really wearing this cap because I'm so happy about what the Falcons are doing. It's actually quite the opposite. They're doing terrible, so it's horrible. But the point about it is that on social media, the Falcons have a Facebook page and a Twitter account. And on their Facebook page, we lost the game, obviously. And they still try to put in biographies and try to engage with people. But that's not really the product they're selling. This product they're selling is a good experience for fans that are engaged, that go to games or that watch it on TV. But really the product, especially for Atlantans, is that we win. And if we don't, anything you do on social media, it's not going to work. Content has to be compelling, or what you say about it isn't really going to impress people.